Hi guys!
Hey y'all!
Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you so much for coming and checking us out.
Yes, and my name is Honeybee, or you can call me B, and whichever you choose is alright with who?
Us.
Her.
That's right. I like when we keep adding
I know.
little ad-libs on.
Like,
It's going to be like 10 minutes long at
Right.
this point, yeah. You say this, and then I say that, and then you say this, and then...
you never know what's gonna come.
I know, you
Right,
really
it's
don't.
literally just
You
like
just
back and
have
forth.
no idea. Wasabi. Sorry, guys. We were snacking earlier. We had wasabi peas, and there was a thing. Anyway, oh man. So we are here every Wednesday. We pick an artist of the week. We do a little bit of a deeper dive. We watch a couple MVs. We watch a dance practice live. We watch a guide, and then we're do this right here, which is our podcast. We talk all about it. Exactly, because we love to talk about anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we figured we might as well throw it on video, and hopefully people like it.
Yes.
But yeah, this week we picked The Rose. That's right. Some say love. Sorry, I'm going Bette Midler on this.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
love
love that song so much. That was we did that song a lot in our like chorus and stuff, like in high school.
Do you know that the only song we ever did, actually we never did it, but I know our high school did it at some point, which was Wind Beneath the Wings.
Oh yeah.
Or Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yeah. Great song. Anyway, we really enjoyed getting to know them a little bit more. So we have watched a couple things, and I have checked out their latest album, which is amazing, called Duel. So definitely go check that out if you have not yet.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just so much fun. There's such characters.
Yes.
You know.
They are hilarious.
Yes, they absolutely are.
Hilarious. And their energy, the way that they go about things. Okay. So we usually talk about, our biased opinions.
Oh, yes.
Stuff.
Who we like. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me know what you thought of the guide and like who kind of caught your attention.
So I liked, honestly, all of them really caught my attention. And that's why I do. Okay. So when it comes to K-pop, for me personally, and maybe it's just because I'm so used to what we grew up on or whatever, but I can honestly say it's unlike K-pop in a lot of Western music and everything outside of K-pop. There, you don't find a lot of like big groups, right? Yeah. So it's always been so daunting for me to like memorize any of K-pop group member names. Yeah. Never mind the fact that it's in a completely different language, completely different culture, but it's also like there's so many people in groups, which I think is incredible. Yeah. Because you're giving more limelight to really show there's so much talent, which is a whole nother discussion. Because I always feel like there's so much talent in the world that just gets undiscovered. Yeah. So I think it's so cool that K-pop makes these groups where there are so many members and so many subunits and stuff like that to really showcase everybody's talent. Yes. But at the same time, from somebody like me, you're like, yes, Blackpink, 4 people. Yes, Rose, 4 people. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, so that stuck out to me right off the grip. I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to lie. I was the same way when I first started. Like when I started listening to BTS, and then the second group I listened to was Stray Kids, who has 8 instead of 7. And it was just like, you think at first, like, you're just never going to know everybody. Right. You're like, I'm just never going to get this. You might know like 1 or 2 people. And then a cut to 2 months later, and you're like, that's the ear of J-Hope, you know? Right. And see, like, I'm not there at all. And it's so hard for me. So, like, watching this guide, it was so dope. I loved how, because there's 4 members, it just was, like, really able to focus on their personalities and their talents and everything. I will definitely say right off the grip, because I got my little cheat sheet here. Love Dojun. Yep. Oh my God. The tone of the voice. Yep. The whole shebang. But I have to say that the Maknae Jaeyoung, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was dying because one, I'm the Maknae in my family.
Yep.
And two, I think what really stood out to me, which had me cracking up, was when he stole the ice cream.
I know. That was so funny.
Was like, that was me as a kid.
Yeah.
I would do that to my brothers. And then my mom would come in and be like, what's going on in here? And I'll be like, and they'll be like, Kristen, this and that. She'll be like, he's the youngest one. And I'll be sitting there like.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so.
But there are definitely times when the roles were reversed. And my brothers used to get me.
Nope. Yep. No. My youngest brother, the Maknae, could not do anything wrong at all. So.
See, I feel like my oldest brother Will literally cannot do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's
the firstborn.
I do have to say no. Well, let me tell you, the firstborn. I will tell you, everything that you got to do is because of us. Everything you got to do in your life is because the older sibling did it first, fought for it first, you got yelled at it first, got grounded for it first. Everything that happened to you in your life, your brother got in trouble for first. I'm just saying.
I am screaming! That is such an older sibling thing to say.
It is, because it's true.
Debatable!
We know best, too. That's also true.
Let me just sip my water.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay.
My thirst is quenched.
Oh my goodness.
I live.
For me, it's definitely still Sammy Woo-sung. I just love his voice so much. And there's just something about his like personality I really like too. But I mean, them all, Dojoon dancing definitely surprised me.
Like, was not ready for that.
Was not ready at all.
Literally was sitting here joking. As you guys know, we always have the MVs for the featured artists, and then we do the live performance in the dance practice. So we were literally joking about how, this is the band, so there's not going to be any dance.
Yeah. And I was like, it actually probably would be really funny if there were a dance practice, but then Dojoon comes in like...
just killing it.
Right, exactly. Like, excuse me, sir.
Is this the Rose guy or is this BTS guy?
Right, yeah.
I have questions.
I know. Yeah, that was awesome though.
Right.
It was cool to learn a little bit more about all the members. But yeah, I just... good vibes is what I get from them, you know? And those are the best groups. Like the groups that you love their chaotic energy. I mean, I love chaotic groups so much, so much.
Yes.
But you're right. It is really nice when there's 4 members and you can kind of like off right away just be like, oh, okay, that's so and so and so and so and so. Especially if they all play instruments, you know?
Right.
Like if you can see who's playing what, you're like, oh, okay, it's so, you know.
Literally, that's like, it's so much easier just to kind of remember like who's who.
Yeah.
I also liked in the guide, it was the end when they were doing the day 6 cover. Which one, I was like, oh my God, we heard this before. And I was like, I love this song. But then it was just the ridiculousness that went on.
Yeah.
Like randomly, like, I forgot who it was sitting there doing, like, cheerleader jumps in the back.
I think it was Dojoon, because Woo-sung was playing the drums.
Yeah. Like,
and then
I think, like,
was it Hajoon or Jaeyoung? I can't remember who started, like, singing, and it's like, and those are, like, the sub-vocals of the group, you know?
And you're just sitting there like...
excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Who will let you be that talented?
Right, we need to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of singing...
yes.
So I pulled up their discography.
Oh, perfect, yes.
So they debuted in August of 2017.
Yes, yeah.
And their first single and their first release was called Sorry. And then, so they have released their first EP, came out in October 2018, called Dawn.
Okay.
Then...
oh, okay, because Duel has a dawn and a dusk side. So I bet that's...
And then their next EP was called Void.
Okay.
And then they had a single albums come out called Red.
Okay. We did hear Red. I think that was the first song we heard by them.
And then their first official album came out in 2022 called Heal.
Okay.
And then their second album, Duel, came out this year on September 22nd.
It was such a good album, seriously.
And what's really cool is that their new album, Duel, debuted at number 8 on the Korean Billboard charts.
Nice. Oh, awesome.
And it debuted at it was their first album to debut on the Billboard Hot 100.
Oh, awesome.
And it debuted at number 83. And it sold more copies. Duel has sold more copies than their first album, Heal, already.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, it's nice. I think they've been getting some more exposure. They did do a tour last year, which I did look up tickets, but they were playing like clubs. So now this year they're playing like bigger places. Like I was saying, they were just at Madison Square Garden, the theater.
Dawn to Dusk tour now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I ended up joining the Rosarium. They have this little app and you can join as like a Black Rose member. And
no way.
Yeah, so it's really cool because they do like they put up little videos and stuff like that. So sorry, Hermione's rolling around like a crazy dog on the floor right now. But in case you hear that. But yeah, I think it's really cool that they're getting some more recognition because they are really good.
Yeah. They're really, really good. And I'm just like, and it was funny because we were just talking about their tour. So I was looking up like just tickets and stuff. You know that they have VIP tickets?
Yep.
That's so dope. So
yeah, a lot of the K-pop groups do. So what they do is, and we see this in BPM a lot.
Yes.
So that's with like the when they do their sound check.
Yes.
They come out and it's like a smaller group of people, so you can kind of see them a little bit more. So that's what that usually is the VIP. So you get to go to their sound check.
Oh my God, because they have one here where it's like you get early entry and all that, but then you get a solo photo with the Rose.
Ooh, that would
and you
be
get
fun.
a green room experience, an exclusive behind the scenes look at what it takes to put on a concert for the Rose. Includes a brief tour of the stage and backstage areas, as well as the opportunity to hang out with the Rose in their green room.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, why? All right. That would be, can you imagine? That would be so much fun to hang out with. They would be so much fun to hang out with.
So it says you only get to hang out with them for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
right?
How many of those tickets are you going to sell? It's not like you can spend all day.
Right. Like that is bananas, but that is so dope. I would love to do something like that.
Woosung is really funny. So they do like Instagram lives and stuff like that, you know, like all the groups do. And so he did one the other day, and so people could ask to like be part of it, you know. And so he'd pull people in to talk or whatever, but then he would like quiz them and be like, which member is this? And if they got it wrong, he'd kick them off. It's like, you're not a Black Rose.
Oh my bejesus.
And so another thing that happened recently that was super funny. So Epic High, which I don't think we've done a full, did we do a full thing on them? I can't remember. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind. Artist of the Week. But anyway, they have a new light stick coming out, and it's like a middle finger.
Oh,
shit! It looks like a hamburger helper glove with the middle finger up. It's so funny.
Not the hamburger helper glove.
So anyway, he was on a campaign to try and get in touch with them, like on social media. Like, I think it was on Twitter or X or whatever the heck it's called now. And he's like, "I'll trade you a Black Rose one for the Rose one for that, whatever." So he did that, and then he started trying to do the same thing with BM from Card. And so he goes, "I'll trade you, our light stick for there." And BM wrote back something like, "I'd rather have your stick," or something.
Listen.
I love them so much. And it's funny. It's funnier now because in the guide it said they're really good friends. So
that's like even better. That just made my whole day.
So yeah, I just yeah, their energy is amazing.
They're really good.
And their music is crazy amazing.
Their music is incredible, which is why...
Yes. Oh, yes.
For Bees Nectar of the Week, which, first of all...
Yes.
Bees Nectar of the Week is a little segment that we do every Wednesday. As you guys know, we have a featured artist in the wonderful, abundant K-pop world of music.
Yes.
And what I do is I think of an artist who is outside of the K-pop world who reminds me of the featured artist or maybe has the same vibe, whether it's a group or a solo artist, either way. And we kick it off with giving Kay some hints about who it could be.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'll give you a little bio and give you some songs to listen to by them. And this week was so hard because there's so many groups you could choose from, so many different bands that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And it just made sense to pick this band.
Okay. I have I'm just going to throw out a guess before you even give me any hints. Okay. This is a random, it just popped in my head. Blink 182. No. Okay.
That's a good guess, though.
Okay.
Wait, well, you know what? Let's switch it up because you know the era of music that I'm going with. So, without giving you any hints, let's switch it up. And why don't you give me 3 bands that you could think it could be? And I'll tell you if you're getting hot or cold.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So, you said Blink 182.
Yeah.
I would say same era. So, I would say You're Warm.
Okay. Genre similar?
Blink 182.
More kind of pop punky?
Yeah, I would say lukewarm then.
Okay.
Just because I feel like Blink 182 has a distinct sound.
Yeah.
This band.
And it's more for their energy versus necessarily their music, because I think the Rose is a little bit softer, mostly. You know what I mean? But
that's why I was like,
kind of energy.
It's the. Yeah.
Oh, geez. I don't know. See, I'm going all pop punk in my head. I don't know.
Because, I don't see the Rose as. I would see them more pop than punk.
Right.
But.
That's what I mean.
But. Okay, so here's a hint. Okay, so. The band that I chose is world renowned.
Okay.
And they have a lot of songs that are very well known.
Okay.
And they are very eclectic.
Very eclectic.
Which is why I chose them. Okay, so you said Blink 182 first. Okay,
yep.
I'm going to say lukewarm.
Okay.
So you have 2 more bands.
Jeez.
Also think of TRL Days.
TRL Days. I didn't watch.
Not saying that they were on TRL, but they were a band that was
around then.
Very prominent.
God. I guess my next guess is Coldplay?
That is correct.
Is it? Okay. All right. And they actually, yeah, you know what? Vibe-wise, too, really works. So
Chris Martin's voice just...
Yeah.
And this, song structure. Yeah. And they're so diverse.
So I actually went to go see, Jin from BTS had a song with them called The Astronaut.
Yes.
And right before he went to the military, he actually flew to Argentina, I believe, or Brazil, somewhere in South America, where they were having their big concert. And so he came out at the end and did the song.
Yeah.
And we actually, my friend Jasmine and I went to the movie theater and saw the whole concert. And it was amazing.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would pay so much money to go see them live. After watching that,
I wish I would have went to their last tour, which was
The Music of the Spheres.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yes.
So they're fully carbon neutral for this tour.
Wow.
They had so they use recyclables for their generators and stuff like that. During the concert, the people in the pit, they have kinetic boards that they can dance on, and it actually will help create electricity. And then they have all these stationary bikes set up so people can ride on it, and it helps create electricity and all sorts of stuff.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
That is, and
I could
so
totally
dope.
see the Rose doing that if they had the money to do it. You know what I mean? But But yeah, they're okay.
That is so dope.
Musically really similar too. Yes. Musically really similar too. I can definitely see that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Come on, Kay. You better know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're also a 4-member, right?
I believe.
Yeah, I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 4-member. Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so Coldplay are a British rock band formed in London in 1997, which still blows my mind that they were formed in 1997 because the bond that they have, you would think they've been together since forever.
Yeah.
So they consist of vocalist and pianist Chris Martin, guitarist Johnny Buckland, bassist Guy Berryman, and drummer Will Champion, and their manager Phil Harvey. They initially met in the University College of London, calling themselves Big Fat Noises and changing to Starfish before settling on their current name.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. So I was like, that is hilarious.
Yes, I love the name. But
right. So after independently releasing an EP called Safety in 1998, they signed to Parlophone Records in 1999.
Oh God, you remember when Yellow came out? That blew them up.
Yep. So the band's debut album Parachutes had their breakthrough single Yellow and received a Brit Award for British Album of the Year and a Grammy Award for Best Alternative Music Album. Then their second album, A Rush of Blood to the Head, won the same accolades and included the single Clocks, which won a Grammy for Record of the Year.
You remember that used to play at the gay clubs too? They had like a remix of it that played all the time.
Oh my God. Clocks was the,
Yep. And The Scientist. What a great, those first 2 albums I played out.
Listen, their third album, X and Y, came out in 2005 and completed what the band considered a trilogy. And was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rock Album.
That has Violet Hill and Strawberry.
Yep. So that had The Speed of Sound.
Speed of Sound.
Fix You.
Oh, okay.
Talk and The Hardest Part.
Okay.
Their fourth album, Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends, won Best Rock Album. Both of the albums were best-selling in their respective years, topping the charts in over 30 countries. Yeah. And Viva La Vida was also nominated for Album of the Year, while its title track became the first single by a British group to simultaneously reach number 1 in the UK and in the United States in the 21st century.
Wow.
And that album also had the hits, which was the title track, Viva La Vida, and then Violet Hill, Lost, and Strawberry Swing.
Yep.
Then
they did a song with Beyonce at some point.
Listen, because I love that song.
Him for the Weekend. I love that. Me too.
It gets me every time. So Coldplay further diversified their sound over their next 5 albums, which I'm going down to the discography because they are that important.
Yeah.
So the first one was Milo, which was Milo Zelato or Zelato, I think is how they pronounce it. And it was their next album to come out. It was their 5th album. Okay. And that featured the singles Every Teardrop Has a Waterfall, Paradise, Charlie Brown, Princess of China featuring Rihanna, which I love that song. That is such a good song. And then Hurts Like Heaven. Their following album was called Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
And it featured the song Magic, which if you have not heard this song Magic, it does something that is just like unworldly. Like that was one of their best songs that they've done.
It's so funny because watching the concert,
yes,
I didn't realize how many songs I knew. Like I knew the songs from the first couple albums, and I knew like major crazy hits.
Yes,
but yeah, I didn't realize like just how many hits they had. It was insane. I knew every single song. There was not one song that I didn't know like all the words to.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Isn't that like it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, oh my God. And that album also had A Sky Full of Stars.
Oh yeah.
True Love and Ink.
Yep.
Their following album was A Head Full of Dreams, which featured the songs Adventure of a Lifetime, Hymn for the Weekend, featuring Beyonce, Up and Up, A Head Full of Dreams, and Everglow. They also released like a bunch of different EPs. They have live albums that came out. And then their most recent album, their 8th album was called Everyday Life, that came out in 2018, that featured the hit Orphans. And I always pronounce this wrong.
Arabesque.
And
it's a ballet dance move.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, fancy.
Yeah, so fancy.
And their most recent album was Music of the Spheres, which featured High Power, My Universe, and Let Somebody
My Universe
Go.
They did with BTS. Yeah. So yeah. They, like I said, there's a video I should show you at some point of like the behind the scenes of them, because this was during the pandemic.
Yep.
And so Chris Martin actually got permission to fly to Korea to meet with BTS. So when BTS was recording their parts, he was there. And it was the first time they were able to like meet, and they just got along like gangbusters, you know? And that's why Jin like decided to reach out when he wanted to do a single. He reached out to do that song with that, you know.
See, I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, and he's the biggest army now, Chris Martin especially, you know.
Oh, I love
he talks about it all the time. So it's just really cool.
See, stuff like that is so dope.
He also, during that concert, I'm sorry to keep going back to this, but during that concert, he had, I believe is an Iranian woman, come up and sing a song. I guess it was like kind of like this rebellious song that came out on Twitter or something. And anyway, it was just really cool. Like he gave a lot of voices to different people, different cultures. And he actually like really tried to speak Spanish during the whole show and everything too, like as much as he could, because he was in a Spanish speaking country, you know, so it was just really cool. Oh, just good vibes for sure.
See, I love stuff like that. Yeah. Like it's just like, and it goes with their energy.
Yes.
Like that's literally what they put out. Like that is who they are.
And I totally see where the rose comes into this, especially now that you said that. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I totally get it.
It's actually interesting too, because I'm wondering what they have lined up next, because the Music of the Spheres album, like, or the tour, it's going on into next year.
So I did read something or see something where I believe they said they had a finite number of albums that they were planning on putting out, and then they're gonna stop making albums altogether. So I think they said there's only like 1 or 2 more that they're gonna make at all.
Yeah.
You know.
And then they're just gonna tour for the rest of their career.
They're gonna tour, do whatever, do solo stuff, do whatever.
Not for nothing, like I'm here for, and that's actually a great segue. You know what? This is a great segue, because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, what are we gonna do for the Say What section?
Yeah.
And you just brought something up that is very, very interesting in this day and age. So for y'all who don't know, that Say What section is kind of like how we close our episodes out, and it's like we on the same topic. It could be something different. It's like a little palate cleanser. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
When do you think? When do you think, especially with all these veteran and seasoned artists who are doing all these tours and doing all this stuff, you know, going back out there? Madonna's doing her 40th anniversary tour. Shaka Khan has been in the industry for 5 decades now. And then you have bands like Coldplay, who have been together for almost 30 years. You know what I mean? Yep. Mary J. Blige has been in the industry for 30 years. All these different artists. So at what point do you feel like how you were just talking about Coldplay, they have like 1 or 2 more albums they're going to make, and then they're going to strictly just tour or just not make albums, whatever they're going to do. Yeah. They're just done after that. How do you explain the reasoning of them doing that to their fans with the understanding of like, also, do you feel like there's a time, or do you agree with the idea of there's a certain point in your career where you should just stop making albums and just tour?
So I think you know what I mean? Obviously, it's a very personal decision for every artist. I think when you no longer A, want to make music, B, you're having fun making music, C, you have something to say, you know? And so if you are having a wonderful time and you want to keep making records until you're 1,000, do it. You know what I mean? If you have fun touring, do it. If you know what I mean? I am fully support whatever artists want to do, you know? And so for Coldplay, I can see, you know, like you said, they have been together for 30 years. And it might be, you know, they may just want to not necessarily break up, but like take time and do their own things, you know, focus on just more playing, focus on their families, focus on whatever, you know.
Chris Martin has kids with Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
Yes, two, I believe. Apple and what's the other one's name? I forget.
Juice.
Blame it on the juice. Blame. Anyway. I can't remember. But
isn't it Phineas?
Yes, maybe something like that. Phineas or something. Or am I thinking of Billie Eilish's brother?
Right, me too.
Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, but you know, whatever it is that they want to do, I think as a fan, you have to be a fan not only of just their music or whatever, but be a fan of like the group themselves and want the best for them, whatever that may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, whatever they want to do, like, would I be sad if they decided to never play together again? Yes. But at the same time, you know, if that's like a choice that they made, then I'm happy for them, you know? So I think that's kind of where I land on it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
I truly feel like you should make albums that, like you said, have meaning, or if you still enjoy it. I just always have wondered, when do artists know when to retire?
Some of them don't. Some of them keep like Yoongi from BTS is going to be making music until he's 220, you know, like that's his drive, you know, and I think he's gotten to a better place with it of like not feeling so pressured into it. But and RM too, I think, you know, I think music is just such a part of them that they want to keep like expressing it, you know? And then there are people who, you know, may not feel as much of that drive and that fire, and that's fine too, you know? They may have lost that kind of creative spirit and need to take some time. They may, you know, a group may just, I mean, we see it all the time, groups breaking up and all sorts of stuff, you know? So you just never know what's happening. Did you find out the name?
No, I'm sitting here trying to like, why is it like, it's like, is this a secret? Like, I'm like, what?
Right.
Under, you know, I'm going to look under his personal.
I'm just going to look up Chris Martin kids and Google it and call it a day. Kids' names. Apple and Moses.
Thank you. I was like sitting here scrolling through his whole Wikipedia, child. Apple and Moses, child.
Apple and Moses. But yeah, I just think there are so many different reasons an artist may decide to hang it up, you know? And, you know, if they're older, maybe it's just physical. Maybe it's, you know.
It said that Chris Martin suffers from tinnitus.
Oh, really?
So maybe
that's
that
gotta be tough. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. Which, you know, that
could
might
be really tough with the inner ears.
Yeah.
With the in ears is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But, you know,
That's interesting. I've always wondered, a side note, because you just said in-ears, I've always wanted to wear a pair just to see what it's like.
So, I forget who was talking about it the other day. I think it was ATEEZ maybe or something where, or no, maybe it was BTS. Anyway, where they were talking about it because because everything is so loud, they can't hear like the speakers in the front and everything like that. So if they don't have the in-ears, like they may not be able to hear like the melody to know when to sing, especially if they're like in a stage, like in the front, sound travels. So they're not going to hear the sound right away to sing. So they may, they'd be behind if they didn't have the in-ears with like what's happening right then. And I guess they also have metronome.
Oh.
Yeah. So like you hear like a click.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. To keep them on beat or whatever. Yep. So that must be helpful with dancing and stuff too. But yeah. I know. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I know. I've never worn them or anything like that. Because
it makes me think about like Beyonce, like when she makes her videos, like when she was making the whole Lemonade movie and all that, there was absolutely no speakers. Every single thing was done with in-ears.
Wow, yeah.
So I'm like, imagine working on set and seeing all these people dancing all extra hard and you have no idea what they're dancing to. And it's just quiet.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Well, except for the stomping. Right. Yeah, exactly. Except for the hair flips.
Right.
And the bat swishes and
See, that's why, I feel like when it comes to like performers, like specifically in bands like The Rose, I think it's dope how... I feel like when you come from that type of part of the music, it's just like, you just sing. You know what I mean? Like you just play and sing and you have your monitors in front of you. And if you don't hear, you just rock out and just guess.
Yeah, sometimes I have heard stories where either the in-ears weren't working correctly or the crowds were so loud they couldn't even hear with the in-ears.
Yeah.
And you just have to like do it and just stick to it and you know what I mean, do the best you can, which is crazy. Can you imagine not being able to hear and like being like a group like
it's giving me anxiety just thinking about it. That is crazy.
I know
that would stress me the fuck out.
Yeah, it really would.
I'd be like
I think it was from ATs who had said, because there's a part in Gorilla which I don't think I've showed you that yet, have I can't remember. There's a part where there's like a fan chant, break the wall, and like everyone screams it, and so like I guess he always says like he can never hear, but he uses the fan chant to know when like his parts are and stuff like that, and like their dance and everything.
Wow.
Because like you just can't hear because you got 10,000 people screaming break the wall at their top of their voices. Yeah.
That would stress me out.
Yeah, I know. But they're professionals, so there you go.
Yep, just like The Rose, child. Y'all are professionals and we love you.
Oh, yeah. We really, really love them. So we definitely want your suggestions for more songs to check out.
Yes, please do.
B, I absolutely demand that you go listen to that album because it is so good.
I'm literally going to, like, I'm about to listen to it. I'm about to pop it in on the car.
Yeah, definitely.
Get my whole life.
Yes, it's so good. I believe it's full English. There might be a couple songs that have some Korean lyrics, but it's just really good. But yeah, and I definitely recommend it to everybody.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much as always for coming and checking us out. We really appreciate it, and we love you.
We love you guys.
We'll see you next time. Bye.